A councilman is coming out as transgender and a woman of color. Delaware County Councilman Ryan Webb announced that he now identifies as an Indian American woman. Since that announcement, he's received some support, but a lot of backlash, many calling him childish, despicable, even calling for things like execution. In a statement Webb gave to ITMate, he says, quote, "It is unfortunate that I cannot simply be given the same space and respect to explore my identity that so many of those targeting me demand for themselves. It's possible I may change my mind down the road. The process of identity exploration is complex, and oftentimes at the end of our personal journey, we end right back where we started." Webb goes on to tell ITMate this is just his true, authentic self.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. This is probably one of the most hilarious woke backfires in a while, and it's exactly what I believe we must do to fight back about on this kind of stuff. We know that, you know, how the left is with, well, anybody can just be anything, just say they identify as such, and you're not allowed to question it, even if science disagrees, because there is no real science. There is only science TM. And now, smartly, conservatives are using this against them. And the results have been absolutely, positively amazing. White councilman in Indiana sparks outrage after proclaiming himself a lesbian woman of color who is living life as his true self. But angry trans locals call for him to resign. Except the best part about this is all of these media outlets that are losing their mind over it, they still are respecting his pronouns. They're caught. They're in a trap. They have to respect them, because if they don't, then the whole fragile system of control that they've been crafting over the past few years falls apart. Let's get into this story. A quick reminder, I've mentioned several times, if you want to get one of Coffee Brand Coffee's Mother's Day gift boxes, which I'm telling you, it's a great Mother's Day gift, make sure you order yours today. We're running low. We'll probably sell out before this week is over. You want to make sure you get it ordered, get it to your house, delivered in time. We've got this delicious Mother's Day gift box ready to go that's got sea salt, milk chocolate caramels, milk chocolate pretzel twists, chocolate covered espresso beans, and our Colombian blend available in whole bean or ground. We've got favorite kid edition, which tosses in raspberry yogurt pretzels and milk chocolate pretzel twists on top. Or if you know what mom likes to drink, you can scroll down and go to customize. Get your signature coffees. You know, if she likes light roast, dark roast, maybe some of our cold brew blends, double caffeinated, even decaf. We also have about 10 different signature flavors that are all wildly popular. We've got all the cocos. We've got 15 different organic teas. Maybe they don't like coffee, but they like tea, and all the premium candies and snacks, of course, in the builder as well. So you can build your own. Promo code MOM. Get that in the mail today before they sell out. MOM to save 10%, by the way. A white Republican councilman in Indiana has sparked outrage after jokingly declaring himself a lesbian woman of color in a Facebook post made earlier this month. Delaware County Councilman Ryan Webb wrote that he considers himself an Indian American woman, saying he finally feels comfortable sharing his true, authentic self. But not many have played into the farce. It's funny that everyone's calling it a farce. When somebody on the left says that, we have to believe it as an absolute fact. Quote, "It is with great relief that I announce to everyone that I identify as a woman, and not just any woman, but a woman of color as well. I guess this would make me also a lesbian because I'm attracted to women," he wrote. The announcement sparked outrage from people calling Webb pathetic for his perceived mockery of LGBT groups as well as marginalized groups. Quote, "His words not only embarrass himself, but the city council," said Charlize Jamieson, a trans resident. Other members, have now called him out for inciting hate and demanding his resignation. Why? Is that a Kimber solo he's got there? I can't tell exactly. Webb, a staunch Republican, first shared his true self with the world on April 12th, my birthday. Whew, that felt good to finally get out there and live life as my true self. I'm excited to bring some diversity to the city council. Until today, we didn't have any females of color or LGBTQIAPC++ on the council. I'm glad that now we do," he continued. Webb wrote that he'll still go by Ryan or Councilman Webb and keep his pronouns he, him. That, however, will in no way diminish my true identity as a woman of color, he said. I'm excited to be a vocal partner of the LGBTQIAPC++++ movement. Who knows just how far we can take things? And, what's great about this, the post immediately ignited social media frenzy, receiving hundreds of comments from angry and displeased residents and Facebook users. Seriously? This is simply showing your awful character. You are punching down, picking on and mocking already underserved minority population. Yeah, right. This group of people are the most popular people on the planet. I'm sorry, most powerful. The most powerful. They have the ability to get you fired. They have the ability to get you canceled. They have the ability to have your YouTube channel banned, your Twitter account banned. They have the ultimate power. It's like a superpower. Commenters weren't the only ones tearing Republican councilmen apart. If he were serious, I'd sing his praises, a trans student wrote during recent city council meetings. But instead, I know better. Oh, you do? So what about when somebody questions you? We all do. I know better because of his history of making hateful statements on social media. Students demand action at Burris Laboratory Schools spoke at the meeting. 6 students approached the podium and demanded his resignation. One student saying, people like Webb make the process of figuring out who won is more difficult. Who won is what? I don't know. One person weighed in was Dana Black, host of the Turn Left podcast. I'm hoping this individual is not making a mockery of what seems to be more in the marginalized community, but I have a feeling that's exactly what's happening. I think he's a non-factor. There are real issues that go on. But what's great about this is that everybody's being forced to follow along. You see this by End Wokeness. Ryan Webb, a white councilman in Indiana, now identifies as a woman of color. The best part, the media is being forced to take him seriously.
A councilman is coming out as transgender and a woman of color. Delaware County Councilman Ryan Webb announced that he now identifies as an Indian American woman. Since that announcement, he's received some support, but a lot of backlash, many calling him childish. So many of those targeting me demand.
It's unfortunate. I cannot simply be given the same space and respect to explore my identity that so many of those targeting me want for themselves. It's so great. It's so great because it totally exposes the double standard. They continue. The thing is, under leftist rules, you are not allowed to question the sincerity or sanity of somebody who claims that they are a member of, the opposite gender. Now, best-selling LGBTQ children's author Matt Walsh is on the case to make sure that Webb is respected. He wrote, apparently Miss Webb's self-identity is not being respected in Delaware County, Walsh tweeted. A number of people at the last council meeting even called for her to resign. I'm wondering if I might need to show up at the next city meeting to show my support. Can't tolerate this bigotry in the year 2023. As a recent council meeting, Webb continued to put the radical gender ideology on blast in deadpan fashion. Quote, to clarify, I never claimed to be trans anything, he said at the meeting. I simply expressed my own gender identity. I'm being dead serious. This isn't a joke. I said what I said. I don't know what to tell you. You don't get to question me. You do not get to require proof from me. You were part of the movement that helped establish these rules and set the bar, okay? You don't get to come later when someone else joins the club that you don't want in. You don't get to question how I identify. I mean, that's all I could say. Absolute genius. He goes on to say, if you can wake up one day and change your gender, as Dylan Mulvaney did, then you can change your race too. All Webb is doing is holding the left to the standards they set. Rules are rules. Godspeed, Mr. Webb. Congratulations on making history. It's the first woman of color and lesbian on the Delaware County Council. I mean, it's absolutely true. All he's doing is doing exactly what these same people would expect of us. There's some of the comments. Indiana keeps making the news. I live here, very familiar with these areas. We are a red state, and our blue communities can't stay out of the news. Mr. Webb is standing as an example. I'm very proud of him for this. I hope this starts a trend throughout the country. That's what I think they should do. This goes right along the lines of what I'm talking about, what I've talked about with women's sports. Men can save them. All you need is hundreds of men across the country that look exactly like me showing up to compete in these events to show what a mockery it actually is. Better yet, fit ones who might actually win them. You see the comments, I really wish more people did this. Make it so ridiculous and prevalent that people no longer want to do it for fear of not being taken seriously. I wish Trump had done this when he was president. Brilliant. Clearly, this is a winning strategy. Much more of the same. I mean, there was a story I read over the weekend about somebody who is able-bodied that identified as disabled. I mean, why are we taking this stuff seriously? We have to stop taking this insanity seriously, and we need to just push forward and show people exactly how insane it really is. And that's ultimately what this is doing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it, and I'll talk to you again real soon.